And it's interesting because people that have abilities like this, people that see auras and that sort of thing, are often perceived as other people, by other people as mad. And then science goes and develops a camera that shows you that, hey, everybody has these auras, and, absolutely incredible. And even with animals, you often see a cat reacting to what we perceive as nothing in the room. Well, it's not nothing. The cat's not reacting to nothing. The cat is reacting to something that we cannot perceive.
Yes, and we're back to the hack, which is that we have been firewalled off from accessing a much bigger range of reality than we have now. I've said in the book that people talk about the speed of light being the fastest speed that exists. Rubbish. And how strange things start to happen when you reach the speed of light. But, I keep coming back to this throughout the book and throughout everything I do. The base reality of this universe is waveform, it's vibrational. What we are perceiving as we sit here in terms of solidity or apparent solidity is the decoding of that information into a holographic form. It's like the wave, the crest of the wave on top of the ocean. The crest of a wave, the white top of a wave may look different to the rest of the ocean, but it's still part of the ocean, just looks different. Same with this reality. And so it's not the energy field that has a limitation. It's our ability to decode the energy field that creates the worlds, that creates the perception of the world goes from here to here. No, that range that you say the world goes from here to here is just what you can decode. And so what's happening at the speed of light, I would say, it's not that something's happening to the energy field at the speed of light. Something's happening to our ability to decode the energy field at the speed of light, because it's at the outer level of our decoding potential. That's why strange things happen. And if we didn't have that decoding limitation, which I say has been genetically and through the moon manipulated through broadcast frequencies, then strange things would not happen at the speed of light. It would just go seamlessly on. Interestingly, years and years ago, I came across a movie in America, B-movie called They Live, which was made by a guy called John Carpenter, who has worked on special effects on Star Wars with George Lucas. And John Carpenter will and has denied this. I'm not bothered, mate. You know more than you're saying. And this They Live is, with every passing year, more extraordinarily accurate in the way it's portraying the world. Because for people who haven't seen it, it's a story of a Great Depression, which pretty much wasn't, if you look at when it was set, it was about now, actually. A Great Depression, people were out of work and all the rest of it, and the Big Brother state was being imposed exactly as we're seeing now. Same things were happening as we're seeing now. And there was a group that had started to realize who was behind all this, and they developed these sunglasses, which when you put them on, you could see who was human and who was a human shell with anything but human inside. And not only that, when you put the glasses on, when you looked at magazines and we saw texts and graphics and pictures, or you look at adverts in the street, with the glasses on, you saw things like obey, don't question authority, go to sleep, and all the rest of it. But where I'm leading to this is that at the end of the movie, they find out why people can't see all this, without the glasses. And it's because there is a broadcast frequency being sent out, and it stops people seeing what they would normally see. And when they destroy the broadcast dish at the end of the movie, symbolically, I say that's symbolic of the moon, suddenly everyone can see people who aren't human. They can see the subliminals that they couldn't see before in the advertisements and the papers and the magazines. And it is just, if you take that broadcast dish that was sending out that frequency, that was holding people in a fake reality in that movie, and you take it to be the moon, that's absolutely very, very, very close to what's actually happening, I would say.
Interesting. Yeah, it's a fantastic movie. And in a way, it's indicative of awareness, because when you become aware of the manipulation, when you become aware of the subliminals, when you become aware of these things, they're so obvious. You know, it's so obvious that we're being programmed. Why do you think they call them TV programs?
Exactly. And it's because when you reach a certain point of awakening, expansion of consciousness, you move beyond the walls, the vibrational walls and limits of the fake reality. And then the fake reality becomes bloody obvious. It's fake. Look at it. But when you're in the fake reality and of it, you can't see it. And I think I absolutely know there are forces at work, unseen forces, mostly not even in physical form. Forces of consciousness. Force is not the word. It gives the connotation of military and fighting. It's not what it's about. There are states of awareness that are involved in this, that are going to bring an end to this. I look at my children and my grandchildren and I think, my God, what world are you going to live in? You're going to live in a fascist state of total control. Well, that's, when I say I look at them like that, I don't, but I should, given the information that's before us and what's unfolding in the world now. They ain't going to live in a world like that. The house of cards is coming down. Not tomorrow, but within my bloody lifetime. I'm 58. Within my lifetime, it's coming down. And the world is going to be very, very different. And the way I see it anyway is that there are... Well, I'll tell you a story. I met a wonderful, wonderful lady very soon after my conscious awakening, 20 years ago, called Yeva Gladwin. She died, actually, during the time this book was being written. I saw her for the last time just before she died. She was in her 80s by then and very ill, but she was an incredible woman. See, I'm talking you up, Yave, see? There she goes, she's here. Go on, Dave, tell her more about what she's saying. Anyway, I travelled with her quite a lot because in those early days, when my mind had just exploded, I mean, I was going around bewildered, but what's happening to me? And she'd gone on the journey before, because she would have been in her 60s by then. And so she was a great help to me, tremendous help to me. We travelled, I did talks, and, you know, it was one of those periods, we had this funny thing, you know, I used to say, what's it all about, Yave? And she'd go, I don't know, Dave, because this was going day after day, because in the early days, no one wanted to know, right? So I would book a hall, like a small church hall, not the big theatres of today as the awakening proceeds, but the small church hall. I would talk, no one would turn up, maybe a handful of people, maybe 6 or 7. I would speak for a couple of hours as I did in those days. I would leave poorer than when I arrived because all the expenses were not covered. And then we'd sit in a little cafe on the side of the road and I'd say, what's it all about, Yave? I don't know, Dave. And then the next day we'd get up and we'd do it all again. But the story I'm leading to is just after she met me, because she was very psychic, she said, I've just got a picture of you. She said, you're on a horse and you've got armour all over you and you've got a sword in your hand and a lance and everything, whatever. She said, I'm seeing you again. But you haven't got the armour this time.